This lesson is going to go with lesson 6.2 from the Algebra 1 book. And we are going to talk about slope-intercept form of a linear equation. A couple of things we're going to look at. We have what's called the parent function, and that's just the simplest equation of a function. And so when we're looking at linear equations, that's going to be the form of y equals x or f of x equals x. So this is called the parent function. Again, that's the simplest form of any kind of particular equation you have. Now let's look at the definition of slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form of a linear equation is y equals mx plus b, where the y is our slope, or excuse me, the m is our slope and the b is our y-intercept. So when we look at an equation, find the slope of y equals 7/6 x minus 3/4, that slope is actually right in front of the x, called the coefficient of x. So the slope in this case would be 7/6. So we would write that. And the y-intercept can be written a number of ways, but the y-intercept is what you add or subtract to that x variable, and you do have to keep the sign that's in front of it. If it's a plus sign, that means that it's a positive y-intercept. If it's a negative sign or a subtraction sign, that means that it's a negative y-intercept. Now sometimes we can say the y-intercept would be negative 3/4. Mathematically, we do want to start looking at it as a point. That point is a 0 for the x value, and the y value would be negative 3/4. So you could say either the y-intercept, you could say it like this, y-intercept, and then say it equals negative 3/4. This is another way to do that. More mathematically correct, however, is to put it in a point form. So write an equation with a line, with a slope m equals 2/5 and y-intercept of b equaling negative 1. So you start off with the general form, mx plus b, and then you just substitute these values in. M, which is your slope, takes the place of m in the equation, so y equals 2/5 x plus the b of negative 1. And you could write it like that, or you could say y equals 2/5 x minus 1. Both are considered correct. Write the equation of the line using the points 0, 1, and 2, 2. So we've got, they created this graph on the right side, 0, 1, so over 0, side to side 0, and up 1 puts us right here. And 2, 2, so we go to the right 2 and up 2. That puts us there. So what we're going to do is we are going to have to write an equation of that line. It is linear. A linear graph just means that it's a straight line. We are going to use y equals mx plus b. In that case, we need to find the slope and the y-intercept of our line. So the slope in this case, we're going to use what's called the slope triangle. We're going to go up 1 and to the right 2. So our slope would be 1 over 2. The y-intercept is where it crosses that y-axis. And so that would be at positive 1. That point would be at 0, positive 1. So our y-intercept, again, would be positive 1 when we plug it into the equation. So to plug it into the equation, we get y equals 1/2, there's our slope, times x, plus the y-intercept of 1. Now, critical thinking here says, does the equation of the line change if you use negative 2, 0 instead of 2, 2? So, does the equation change if I were to use negative 2, 0, this point right here, would it change the line or the equation of that line? And the answer is no. If I use any value or any point on the line, I'm still going to come up with the same equation. So regardless of the line or the points that I choose in my line, I'm always going to get the same slope and the same y-intercept. Now, how do you graph a linear equation that's in slope-intercept form? You're definitely going to want to pause the video at this point and write these steps down, especially if you have a hard time graphing these things. So first of all, step 1 says you want the y-intercept, and so you're going to plot that point. So in this case, they plotted 0, -1. So step 1, plot the y-intercept. Step 2, using that y-intercept, you are going to then move based on the slope. The slope was 3/1. Any whole number can be made into a fraction so that you could have the rise over the run in order to graph it. So the top tells me how far up or down I go. The bottom of the fraction tells me how far side to side I go. If they're both positive, that means up and to the right. So you can see here, this graph, we went up 3 units and to the right 1 unit. Now, unfortunately, in the video, we're not getting the rest of this grid. So if you wanted to create and see the rest of the graph paper, we can do that so you can see how we went up and down 3 units. But anyway, you're going to put those points together, and so you've got the y-intercept plus where we moved using our slope, and then you draw a straight line through those 2 points. And that's how you're going to quickly graph any linear equation. So we're going to use that idea in the next slide. So we're going to start off, we want to figure out what our slope and y-intercept is based on this equation. The slope in this case, again, is the coefficient of x, or the number in front of x. It is already in fractional form, so we don't have to change that. It's a +3 over a +2. The y-intercept is -2. Sorry. So that y-intercept is -2. It's that thing that we have added or subtracted to that x value. And so now we're going to plot that. So starting again with the y-intercept as the first step. So -2 means I go down 2 units on the y-axis and I plot my first point. Then from there, I am going to move. The 3 means that I'm going to go up 3 units. And the 2 means that I'm going to go right 2 units. So from that, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 units up and 2 units to the right and put that point. And now that I have those 2 points, I'm going to graph that line using a ruler. You don't want to curve off like I just did there. So use a ruler or a straight edge to make a good straight line. The other thing you could do is continue to repeat that same slope. So you'll notice I go up 3 and to the right 2 every time. Up 3 and to the right 2. So 3, 2. And you'll see that 3, 2 over and over again. And that's what the slope will tell you. So again, to draw a linear equation using the slope and the y-intercept, step 1, graph the y-intercept. Use the slope to get to the next point. Draw the 2 points. Use a ruler to draw a straight line between those 2 points.